see or has the evidence to prove that this is happening and this is this, right? So then
Well,
that kind of sets the tone for the debate.
Well, opening statements and informal debates have 4 parts. So this is your opportunity to frame the entirety of the debate.
Yeah.
This is your opportunity to frame the entirety of your position, frame exactly what's going on, make predictions on the other person's arguments. You can defeat a person in your opening statement. I do it probably 50% of the time. you can just completely level them in your opening. That's your time to shine, where nobody can interrupt you, nobody can push back, nothing. And so you segment these into 4 parts. The first is you go over what the proposal or proposition is. In this case, there was no proposition. There was no logical proposition. It was just a proposal. And the proposal was Andrew it's an assertion, right? It's not a proposition. It's just a descriptive is. It's like Andrew is this thing. It's like, well, okay, well, here's your chance to lay out why we're here. So we're here because Andrew Wilson, liar and a grifter. That's your opening. Then you're going to move into the context body. Your context body is going to explain why it is that you're arguing the position that you're arguing and the things which lead up to that position. And then you're going to move into your actual arguments. And then you're going to give a strong outro tying all 3 of those segments together. And that's what you do with an opening.
And since he didn't do that, he allowed you basically to lay out the debate.
Well, no, he did do that. He did do that. He just failed at part 3, which is the argument section. So he stated why he was there, and then he stated the run up to his positions, why his positions exist. So I understood that fine. So the proposal is Andrew's a liar and grifter. Got it. I understand that. Okay. So the lead up is these are the things which I view, which I think make him a liar and a grifter. Okay, got it. But now we get to the argument section. The argument section for something like this is, and here's the proofs, which I'm going to present, which are going to demonstrate why I have this reasoning that I laid out for why this guy's a liar and a grifter. Total abysmal failure. None of it ever brought up. So on the outro, it's very weak, even on the outro at the end of the debate, because the arguments could not tie the other 2 sections together. So if you can't tie these together, the entire thing falls apart. If it was a logical proposition, it would have been worse. It would have been even worse.
Well, when you brought up the the things that you listed, right? That kind of like pivoted the argument from him kind of having you answer for things to where he is now having to answer for things, and that kind of like that gave you the control of the debate, right? Because he didn't present anything to.
No. What won me the debate in the intro was just the prediction that there would be no counter arguments.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be any arguments that are laid out. What's going to happen is a sequence of questions which are trying to get me to make your argument for you.
Yeah.
And so people who aren't attuned to the Socratic method don't understand that method is for already existing propositions, right? Not accusations, but propositions. So it works really good for testing logical positions. But the Socratic method does not work very good for interrogation. It's it's a tool for only logical interrogation. So if A, then B, and if B, then C. But it doesn't do a lot of good to get normative information out of people, right? It's just not very good for that. And so if you levy accusations, what you should do is you should have like a key log of proof and then demonstrate your proofs, right? And then have them speak to that. But what's interesting is that it wouldn't have mattered anyway, right? Like, let's say in his intro, he had levied the proof that I made hundreds of thousands a year on YouTube, or just hundreds of thousands a year, period, which I don't. But let's just say he demonstrated this somehow. Well, so what? Right? Like, so what does that show? Well, it doesn't show anything. So what are we proving? Right. What are we proving? But what happens often in debates is people use a sequence of intuitions and looking for agreeableness to their intuition. It's like, so we can all agree on this, right? And most people are like, yeah. right? But what happens when someone goes, no? People are like, no, I don't agree. What does that
Yeah.
mean then? Well, then you have to make demonstrations. So it's just, the difference and distinction in it should be night and day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just thought like his opening statement didn't really lay out his game plan and what evidence he had to, support his claims that you are a liar and a grifter. And I thought that would at least be where he would make that, address, like, I'm, with this
Bro,
evidence and this.
everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Right?
Mike
That was
Tyson said
that was that old boxing.
Tyson.
Yeah. Everyone
Mike
has a
Tyson.
plan until they get punched in the face.
or the timer goes off.
Yeah.
I gotta
Right.
admit, you made a very dumb debate the most entertaining thing. You're